Yes, guys. Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry, there was a sound issue, but now that's okay. Yeah, guys. Yeah. So now there should not be any sound issue. It's all okay. Very good evening, everyone. Good evening, Avan. Good evening, Srikanth. And yes, quickly update all your friends that the session is live and they can now start connecting with the session. Good evening, Roshni. Okay. Good evening, Sri Lakshmi. Okay, guys. So yeah, students will keep joining. Let us get started and let us talk about the GATE 2026 examination. Yes, guys, GATE 2026 examination. Of course, you might feel that there is a significant time left, and yes, I would really say significant time is left. It's April, or April is still on to closure, but still you have entire time from the May up to the January, because the exam is going to be in the month of February, the first, second, or maybe the third weekend. Okay, so you have complete time up to January, and this is a lot of enough time, I would say, if you are really serious and if you really want to crack this particular examination. Okay, so for GATE 2026, what should be the detailed preparation strategy? That is what I'm going to speak in this particular session. At the same time, okay, talking about three important aspects of the preparation. Okay, if you really want to be a ranker, what are the three things that should go parallelly in your preparation? Is the concept, the conceptual clarity, the most fundamental thing. Yes, without concept, there is nothing in the exam like GATE. Okay, forget anything, forget about GATE if you don't focus on concepts. The first and foremost thing is concepts. Okay, but yes, to boost up your performance, to be a ranker, I'm telling you, we need to make a roadmap to be a ranker. Okay, probably a single digit ranker, or under 50 or under 100. Okay, you have to have a lot of practice and keep testing yourself. Okay, keep testing yourself, right? Okay, so yeah, let's get started and let me cover up my content. Any of the doubts you have, just wait for a few minutes, let me cover up, and then I will be also taking up your queries at the same time. Be also taking up your queries at the same time. See, anyways, you will, it's not that with semester you can't prepare, never stop learning. Everybody will have the semester pressure, but easily people are able to manage it, and many students in the college time itself are able to get the rank. So that's not a problem. Okay. And Sandeep, what I would just say is, yes, some PSUs are withdrawing through GATE, but somehow they are recruiting. They are recruiting through their own set of methods or through own examination. So trust me, GATE, as I told you, the fundamental thing about GATE is the concept. Okay, so if you're prepared for GATE, just don't think that it is just the GATE examination. You are prepared for all engineering related examination. Okay, little bit here and there you have to do, but at least you don't have to start from scratch. Okay, so GATE will make you conceptually sound. Whatever exam you want to appear, you can appear after that. That is the confidence that this exam is going to give you. That is the confidence that this exam is definitely going to give you, right? Okay. For all engineering related examinations. Okay, little bit here and there you have to do, but at least you don't. Yeah, okay. I was just looking into the sound as well. It looks all okay. Okay, fine. So let's get moving ahead then. Okay. Yes, guys. So let me also keep moving and then we'll keep discussing the doubts. Now, before I start up, there's an important announcement. Okay, for all the students, whether you are, pass out or a college going student, especially for college going students, if you really want to, study in the offline manner so that you have the live interaction and discussion with the faculty, you get the true training, true guidance. Okay, so yes, we invite you the GATE 2026 offline summer short-term course. Yes, we do have the offline summer short-term course. The duration of the course will be roughly 60 to 65 days. Okay, daily around 7 to 8 hours of class would be conducted, and And this has been developed so that in the 60 to 65 days, you cover up a bulk of the portion of the GATE syllabus. Of course, in the 60 days, you will not be able to cover the entire syllabus. For rest of the subjects, you will be given online access, okay, complimentary online access to our live courses, but around 60% of the syllabus would be targeted to be covered in this much, okay, so that, and 60% of the most important subjects, the subjects where students are troubled, okay, so you can really take the benefit of this, okay, because you're going to get the content covered by the India's best faculty team for ECEE. They're going to get the best content. That is what we can guarantee. Okay, and not only concept, more than 3,000 problems will be solved in the class. And as I'm telling you, for the rest of the subjects, okay, you will be given access to the own online classes up to the GATE 26 examination. Not for short time. That access for online for our online course will be there till the GATE 26, and you will have a nice AC classroom, well infrastructure, so that the 7 to 8 hours looks very easy for you. You will not be burdened. Okay, you're not going to be burdened, right? Okay, so the fees is currently priced as 45,000, and there are some special benefits that you can definitely look into this and see. Okay, so now guys, let's get started, okay, with the session. Good evening, Ramu. Okay, never stop learning. What is the way of preparation? That is what I'm going to cover in the session. So let's learn one by one. So when I talk about preparation, GATE 26 or any of the GATE year preparation, I really say that there are 4 pillars of the GATE preparation. Now let me first start with briefing you what are those 4 pillars of the preparation. Okay, number 1 I would keep, okay, as something that many students lag behind. This is not about concept, this is not about practice, or this is not about test. The first one is decide, guys. Already it's April end. I'm telling, still lot of time is left. Okay, but this lot of time will keep running away, because many students are not able to decide whether to go for GATE, whether to rely on campus placement, whether to go for this exam, that exam, and just in that thought process you will never come to know, and the GATE 26 time will pass away. Okay, the first thing is, if you need to decide quickly. How will you be able to decide quickly? Realize your goals, realize your dreams, whether you want to go for MTech from top IITs or whether you want to go to PSUs. You will have a set of dream. Realize it, what you really want to achieve. Okay, because just sitting on on the trust of campus placement in this scenario, in this market scenario, is totally not good. Okay, especially for electronics, electrical, you are not going to go into the core domain. Okay, so I don't think it's good to just rely on the campus placement. You're going to go mostly in the IT sector. Okay, and that too at not fancy packages. Okay, very mediocre type of packages. So why do you want to compromise? So realize your dream, decide, and trust yourself. Okay, again, one more reason many students are not able to decide: they don't trust themselves. And why they don't trust sometimes is reason because you will ask about GATE or any competitive exam like ESC to those persons, to those seniors who themselves not qualified. And if a person themselves not qualified, they will always give the wrong impression. Okay, it was a difficult exam. Or ask to somebody who have done it, who have got ranks, single digit, double digit, or even triple digit. Ask them exactly how the GATE is. It's not that a difficult examination. It's a very easy examination. It only requires your hard work. If you think that, okay, only last 2 days you will study just like you do in semester and go and sit in the GATE examination, you don't get even 10-20 marks out of 100. I'm not joking. Okay, that approach will not work here. Okay, so GATE is not difficult examination. It is just, different from university examination. You need to study the concepts. Only thing it is asking you to study the concepts. Okay, if you know the concept, questions are not really difficult, except maybe, if GATE has 65 questions in any year, maximum 4 or 5 questions will be very tricky. Sometimes not even that. Okay, sometimes not even that. So GATE is not at all a very difficult or tricky examination like JEE advanced examination. No, it only requires your time, your hard work, and conceptual clarity. Okay, so trust yourself that yes, you can do it if you study systematically. Okay, so that is the first pillar. Rest all concept practice, you will do it. But if you do it half-hearted, if you just keep doubting yourself, guys, just a second. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. right? So if you just do it with a half heart, okay, every time doubting yourself whether you will be able to do it, whether you will not be able to do it, you will never be able to focus on your goal. Trust yourself, decide quickly, okay, and start your preparation. Now, the next pillar, as I told you, the most fundamental pillar of the GATE preparation, I would put n number of stars around it, is the conceptual clarity. Without this, the exam is of no use. And with concept, okay, exam is in your basket. Exam is in your pocket. Only thing is, more you practice, more you will improve your rank. Okay, but yeah, if you're conceptually clear, even with less practice, you can get a very good rank. The only thing is, if you do more practice, if you solve more number of tests, you get more and more better, chances of getting a single digit or a double digit rank. Okay, right? Okay, but this is the first and foremost thing, the conceptual clarity. Now, how to target conceptual clarity, from where to study, all those things we are of course going to speak in the session. Okay, next fundamental comes is the practice and tests. Okay, practice and tests. Okay, doing practice. Okay, from where to practice, again, then detail I'm going to elaborate, don't worry. Okay, and test. Okay, by test, I'll have two types of tests coming up. One is the topic and subject test, and one is the mock test that usually is paired up with the revision. So the fourth pillar is prevision, because see, so let's say you start your preparation from April end or May first week or so. Okay, you study several subjects till November, December. It is a human behavior to forget the things if you don't see them frequently. Okay, nothing different in that. Nothing is going to be different in that. So it is very important to cover up the syllabus on time, so that you have the time left for revision. Because if you don't revise, especially last 30, 40, 45 days, you will forget the formula in the exam hall. Okay, and if you forget, then the story is over. Okay, but yeah, it's not that if you don't, if you go from May to December, you will forget everything. Only thing is you will able to remember things roughly, but as soon as you revise, the things will become 100% fresh in the mind. That is what I want to say here. Correct? Okay, and with revision is paired up the mock test. Okay, so we'll talk again about the mock test part also, in detail, right? So let's come up here. Let us start, okay, with this very thing that I'm focusing and I'm telling you a number of times, is the conceptual clarity. The GATE examination, which definitely requires conceptual clarity, and how to get the concepts on place. Okay, what are the sources of the concepts? And number one is, if you are totally a self-study student, you can definitely rely on the concepts for from standard books. Okay, I'll tell you the advantage of standard books. You will get the best of the content from standard books, no doubt. Okay, if you really follow the good standard books. Now, what are the good standard books? It depends on your branch and your specific subject. Okay, so I'm not going to put up a list of standard books that you can easily Google up and find. Okay, but yeah, definitely you'll get really good concepts if you are following a standard book. But then the disadvantages for a student point of view, see, I'll tell you very honestly, none of the standard book is made for GATE. But yeah, truly standard book is made for a subject. It will give the command to the subject, but it is not GATE oriented. Okay, and it is not going to target what are the important areas with respect to the GATE examination. It will cover the entire subject. Now, in any competitive examination, it is very important to focus more on the important areas and to focus relatively less on the less important areas. Don't miss any area, but focus more on the important area, focus relatively less on the less important area. That is one ethics of any competitive examination that these books will not tell you. At the same time, okay, the questions and approach in this will be more like conventional approach. You will not be getting, the quicker way of solving the question. So in exam time, when you really go to the D-Day, the exam day, you have 65 questions in 180 minutes. You have to be really quick. Okay, and for you to be really quick, of course, you should know the methods of solving the questions quickly. Again, that you will not find up here. And then there are some subjects whose, with respect to GATE exam, if I say, you will not find the entire coverage of GATE of a particular subject in one standard book. Maybe you have to combine 2 to 3 standard books. Now, for a student, studying one entire textbook is also a big job. But studying 2 to 3 textbooks for a single subject is nearly impossible. Okay, so this can only be followed if you are, let's say, just a first year student. You have just taken admission into engineering and you are preparing from right now, and then you go and prepare up to third year. Then you will be able to cover up all standard books okay, with different varieties of problem. But again, even if you cover up all the standard books, you will have to, develop your own ways of solving the questions quickly, because that will not be given up here. It is for the subject, not for GATE examination. Okay, so, I've told you the plus and minus of, going through the standard books. Of course, the next source is, okay, through live class, through class notes. Okay, now by live class, I means the live, it could be online live class, or it could be a offline live class. Okay, when I say live means when you are directly in touch with the faculty, and if you are following a faculty for a particular subject. Okay, so you are attending a class either in online manner or the offline manner. Okay, now what is the responsibility of a good teacher, and what is the responsibility of all the teachers at home? Let me be very honest with you. Okay, whether it is me or any of the faculty team, okay, whatever subjects we have taken the responsibility, okay, we ensure that you get the complete coverage with respect to the GATE syllabus. At the same time, okay, you get the variety of models of the problem. Okay, and at the same time, you get the enough shortcuts and quick methods to solve the questions. There are some questions, okay, not in if there are many questions which will have two approach. One very long approach, simple but long approach, and one is logical approach. Okay. Okay, so that logical approaches, that tricks also should be known to you. And whatever subjects any of our faculty will take, we have taken that responsibility that if you cover that particular subject at Home Institute or with our concerned faculty, it is our guarantee that for that particular subject, you don't have to refer to any textbook or any other video like NPTEL or any YouTube video. That is what we truly guarantee. 100% syllabus of that subject, okay, will be covered. That is what every faculty has taken that particular ownership. Okay, right. So that means if you complete the class and then, of course, if you are following class, you will make class notes. You will make class notes. Okay, those class notes will be there throughout, and those class notes itself will help you in revision as well. Of course, you will develop your short notes as well. Okay, your short notes as well. Okay, so, for revision. So that is what, guys, this can be a really good way of completing the syllabus in time as well as in particular depth, in 100% depth. Okay, you can cover up the syllabus, and that too on time, it can be covered up. Right. So that is what is the ownership for every subject our concerned faculties at Home Institute have taken. If you follow that subject, okay, with the faculty, whether online manner or offline manner, okay, you don't have to refer to a single line or a single page of any of the textbook, guaranteed. That is what, I can say here confidently. Okay, you can, refer to the notes. If you are connected with any of the previous home student, you can see their notes, maybe online PDFs or the offline classroom notes, and you will get that clarity. You will get that clarity, right? Right. Yes, never stop learning. That is what exactly I mentioned. With standard book, the time, it will be a time consuming task. Okay. Yes, Abhay Kumar, even if you, focus from June as well, it will be a sufficient time, because provided you have university examinations, I would also suggest to cover up your semester thing. Okay, to finish your semester thing and start. Okay, but as soon as the semester thing gets over, then start up immediately. Okay, then don't delay much. Okay, then don't delay much. Okay, several students have done it. Okay, so that's not going to be a big problem for you. Okay, right. So this is what is the source of concepts. Now, at the same time, when I'm talking about concepts, I'll add one more thing here. Okay, a basic subject classification I want to do here for EC as well as for EE. Okay, that the entire subjects I have grouped into 3 parts. Okay, just for your knowledge. Okay, there are some subjects which are non-tech or fundamental subjects. So non-tech plus fundamental subjects, what I have kept here is, okay, mathematics, aptitude and network theory. Okay, these 3 subjects, of course, maths and aptitude non-tech, and network is one fundamental subject, scoring subject. At the same time, it is useful for your entire engineering. I mean, with network, without networks, you can't go, into analog circuits, and especially without networks, again, electrical students also have a lot of use, of the fundamentals of network in their core subjects. Okay, so I'll put it as one of the very fundamental and important subjects here. Okay, now when I talk about Group B, okay, I have kept here subjects again which have good weightage, and they are, on, moderate side mostly. Okay, so, for digital and control, mostly on moderate side. Signal system, some students find it challenging because it is more, I would say it is just like a complete mathematical subject. Okay, so, this is something, you will put little bit more efforts, but usually digital and control will be easy going, and then some core, okay, and challenging subjects where you have to put a lot of time, and they are respectively EDC, analog circuits, electromagnetics, and communication systems for EC. Okay, so this is what a little bit I would say challenging and core. Challenging and the core of EC. Okay, so this is non-tech and fundamentals, and this is like mostly I would say as a, I'll put it on a mediocre side. Okay, on a mediocre side. Okay, now coming to the next one. Okay, again for EE, for non-tech and fundamentals, I've kept the same thing: maths, aptitude, and network. As I told you, network again is important for your some core subjects as well. Coming to the group B, okay, again where I'll put the mediocre subjects. Okay, is digital, okay, control, measurements, and see, electromagnetic theory for EC it is core. For EE it is up to moderate level only. Syllabus is also small. For EE the syllabus is small. For EC you have lot many extra syllabus to learn with respect to transmission, live, wave propagation, wave guides, and antennas. Okay, but with respect to EC, with respect to EE, it has a decent small syllabus, and the paper level is also relatively easy to moderate only. Okay, so that is why I put it here. In fact, for EE, signal system I have put it, okay, on a little bit good side, on a little bit challenging side. Okay, because EE students usually find the signal and system to be a little bit more challenging. That is what I have, seen. So based on the temperament of the students, I have put it here. Okay, and then of course, all the core areas. Okay, the machines, power system, power electronics, very, very important. Okay, I would say honestly, this itself will going to compromise for 30-35 marks out of 100 easily. Okay, machines, power system, power electronics, easily 30 to 35% of the marks. Okay, and analog, of course, it's not that high weightage for electrical. Okay, for EC definitely analog is very high weightage, but for electrical it is around 5 to 6 marks of business. But electrical students, okay, because it is more of a EC core, they find it little challenging, so I have put it in the group C. I have put it in the group C. Okay, right. So that is just a basic classification I just wanted to present in front of you with respect to EC and EE. So from where you should be targeting the concepts, what is the advantage and disadvantage of standard books, and what can be the benefits of directly going into a classroom and studying, I have briefed out here. Okay, and now as I mentioned, the game on with practice. See, all of the faculties here at Home Institute, we are delivering the content, and we are delivering the same content, same good content, best content for every type of student sitting in front of us, right? Okay, but not everybody will become the topper, right? So now, after you see, the first thing is concept. Again, since the beginning, I'm telling, without concept, this exam is nothing. You cannot, dream of getting a good rank without concepts. That is true. Okay, but what next? Okay, what is next? That is what you have to realize. Okay, so what is next is, okay, for your self-analysis, okay, you have gone through class, you have studied, you have made your notes, okay, and you have solved some set of questions already in the classroom, but how much you have really understood on your own, whether you're able to attempt the problems on your own or not, that is also very important to realize and understand. That is also very important to realize and understand. Okay, and for that, okay, the game will on with the practice. Okay, so this practice, this self-practice, when I say practice, means your self-practice. When you go back to the home, when you finish the class, when you sit peacefully, then you take up the problem practice. Okay, and then you try to understand how many problems you are able to attempt on the own, and then you will realize what are the areas where you are falling weak. Okay, there will be set of problems which you are very smooth into, you are able to solve very easily, very quickly. There will be some set of problems you will be troubled. So that will give you an indication. Okay, little bit more practice has to be taken from the areas where you are taking a lot of time. Okay, so the real game is on with the practice. Okay, conceptual clarity is the base. Don't think about GATE examination without getting the concepts on place, but to enhance your performance, to be a ranker, practice is the next major tool that is going to decide your rank, I would say. Okay, now practice. What are the different source of practice, I would say? What are the different source of practice, I would say? Okay, so practice and test I'll include here. Number one source of practice again could be standard book. As I told you, standard books, okay, can be time consuming for learning the theoretical part or conceptual part. Okay, a lot of time would be spent. lot of time would be spent, but you can use it for questions. In fact, there are some good standard books. If you follow them, you will find the questions of GATE directly copied. I mean, not 100, because GATE will have MCQ questions, standard books will have conventional question, but that particular model of question taken and converted to the MCQ or NAT or MSQ format. Okay, that is what you're going to feel the benefit. But at the same time, again, if you feel the challenge, okay, how many standard books are there, how many questions you can solve, and whether every question of standard book relevant to GATE, again no. Okay, again no. Okay, so what questions can be relevant to the GATE. Okay, you can also easily find out, okay, in the workbooks or especially at Home Institute, we have the pattern of handouts. Okay, so we have some classroom handouts, we have some homework handouts that we give to the students. Classroom handouts, we cover it totally in the class. Homework handouts, it's for you. You can also call it something like workbook. We give it on topic to topic basis, so we call it as handout. Okay, if you compile all the handouts, it is like a book for you. Okay, so now what are the type of questions we have put in the handout? Now, assuming that, taking up a standard book and solving each and every question there may not be feasible for a student. Okay, but yeah, as a faculty, for every subject, we have gone through, several, at least 3 to 4 best textbooks, and we have, made our question back, not only with standard book, but with our own expertise, with our own experience, what type of questions can be framed. We have framed our own questions as well, and we have put it in the handouts. Okay, some in the classroom handouts, some in the homework handouts. Okay, at least in the classroom handout, we ensure that every type of model of question that can be expected from that subject is covered up. Okay, and then additionally, we give you the homework handouts for your self-practice. As I'm telling you, the real game on with the practice. Okay, your self-practice. Okay, so if you solve these, handouts, I think then you don't need to go to any other particular standard book. Okay, your classroom notes plus your self-practice through handouts make you ready for the subject, and now you can really test your subject going to the PYQs. Now, this is one important source of practice. It is very good to test also yourself, okay, after learning the subject from the class, after solving handouts, whether you have become exam ready. And how will you see exam ready? See, real exam is going to be February 2026 now. How will you say that you have really become exam ready? Okay, GATE 26, which is going to be conducted by IIT Guwahati, most likely IIT Guwahati, it should be the conducting body. Okay, but the paper is made by all 7 IITs and IISc. Okay, the paper every year is combinedly made by all 7 IITs and IISc. These are the 8 bodies responsible for conducting the examination, correct na? Okay, and these are the only 8 bodies which have been making the paper from past several years. Okay, so why not to take the previous 10 years, 15 years paper, okay, made by the same IITs and IISc, and test myself. If I am able to solve the 10 to 15 years of question, I'll be able to take up the next year as well. Yeah, what next? Okay, same bodies is going to make. Okay, the question will be new, but at least level, I'll be adapted to that particular level. I'll be adapted to that particular level. Okay, so this PYQs will give you that confidence that yes, whether you are exam ready or not, and whether in a particular subject you are able to attempt PYQs, and if you are able to attempt most of the PYQs. Maybe first time you are not able to attend 100%, no problem, nobody, not even I think AIR1 will attempt 100% PYQs in first attempt. But if you are able to attempt most of the PYQs, it will give you a confidence you are on the correct track. You are onto the correct track, right? Okay, you are onto the correct track. Okay, dear. Right. So guys, just keep little bit more patience. Let me cover up my content, and that some of the doubts I have answered, some of the doubts are still there. Just wait for some more time so that I go in a flow. Let me cover up my thing, and I'll take up your points as well then. Okay. So that is why I put PYQs as very, very important. This is a must. This is a must. I mean, if you talk about that, if you have less time and if you want to practice only from one of the source, then I would say PYQs. Okay, first I will always give the priority to PYQs. But yeah, PYQs plus handout problems is like a very good situation, ideal situation if you do this much. Okay, that is what I would say here. Okay, then in another form, I will put practice as important, okay, as test, and whenever you solve any test, it is also a source of practice. Na? Ultimately, you see some set of new questions. Only thing is, the difference between a regular practice and a test is the test will give you additional time foundation that you have to solve these many questions in this much minute of time. Okay, so that also is important to adapt yourself into the pressure situation. Don't be always cool. Na? Test yourself. Okay, let's take a small test, 30 minutes. How much questions I'm able to solve in the 30 minutes and how many marks I'm able to, because sometimes I have seen, okay, trust my almost 14-15 years of experience, I have seen student in front of me in the class, okay, very cool, very easily giving the answers. Same student in the test not able to perform that best. It's not that they don't perform, but not able to perform that best, because that psychological impact is there when you write down a test. That psychological impact is there. Okay, you see a timer, you know that okay, you have to finish in time. When you are normally practicing or when you're sitting in the class, you don't have that pressure, but in the test, that pressure is there. And some students, every student will have their strength and weakness. Now some students are having that weakness. In front of the timer, they panic. Okay, but how many times will you panic? Maybe first time, second time, 5 times, 10 times, but to give enough number of tests, your pressure, your fear of that timer, of that test will go away and you will become cool. You will become as cool as like a classroom or a regular practice session. Okay, but for that, you have to adapt to that situation. You have to solve more number of tests. And when I say test, okay, I'll talk about 3 categories, but right now I'll talk about 2 things, topic wise and subject test. Okay, then next we'll talk about mock test in some time. Okay, so what your target should be. By topic, I mean topic wise, let me be precise. Topic wise means chapter wise. Topic wise means chapter wise. So what I actually mean here is ki if you're studying a subject, every subject can be divided into easily 4, 5 chapters or 6 chapters depending on the subject. As soon as you finish a chapter, attempt a topic test specifically in the online mode. See, with OM again, with every chapter, we will automatically conduct your test. We'll conduct your test in the offline manner also first. Why? Because if we conduct your test in the offline manner, we ensure that you come to the classroom and we see you physically solving. Okay. But at the same time, additional to that, I suggest you go for, every chapter wise online test as well. Okay. So that ultimately GATE is going to be online. So you adapt your practice, you adapt yourself since the beginning, to see yourself in front of a computer screen. Okay. So chapter wise test. Okay. Now, after completing one chapter, you give chapter wise test, then second chapter wise test, like that you complete the subject. Okay, maybe you complete the subject. Okay, now what will happen, your preparation will keep going. What sometimes students will do, okay, one chapter completed means completed in class and you have solved some questions and okay, you go to the next subject. That means your previous subject is only partial. See, a subject completed in class doesn't mean that it is completed for you, to be very honest. Okay, unless and until you put the effort and you complete it from your own. What do I mean you complete? You revise the classroom notes and you solve PYQs and handouts, then it is complete. Okay. So, at the end, you should always attempt a subject test. Okay. 2 big benefits of subject test. Okay. Number 1 benefit, if you are going to appear on a subject test and if you are little bit serious also, you know that before going to the test, you will have to revise. Correct, na? Right. So you will definitely revise the entire subject. So a subject you are studying from several days, but on the name of subject test, you will revise the entire subject. And that way, okay, your subject almost stands to be complete. You have studied in the class, you have solved PYQs, handouts, and you have revised. Okay. And then you go to the subject test. Second benefit of the subject test. Second benefit is what? Okay. It will give you an analysis at like whether you have scored decent, like it is your first subject test of that subject, and if you cross 60% mark also, that means you're really good at that particular point of time. But at the same time, in that subject test, if you scored only 20%, 30%, that means you are relatively weak. Okay, so it will give you an idea. Okay, new subject is starting, let me study the new subject, but little bit in the weak areas of previous subject, I will manage little bit of time and I will focus there, because that alarm that you have not done really that good. You have not done really that good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I have some more content to talk about, but let me see if there are some important doubts right now. Hi Anu. I never stop learning. Only PYQs I answered for you. Yes. Then also you can complete. See, never stop learning and realize that, okay, you just go through the classes. You just keep attending the classes just on the namesake of completing the syllabus. Is that correct? No. Okay, maybe if you stop in between and periodically you're giving tests, maybe your syllabus completion is shifted by 15-20 days later. It becomes late, but at least you do it most effectively. Right? So realize that way. So don't be just in a hurry. See, syllabus must be completed on time. Okay, if you complete by November end, it is good. Even if you complete by December 10th also, it is a very good situation. Trust me. Okay, but if you simply complete by September, October, but you have not given any test in between, and if you have not solved enough PYQs, so then that much of time was just a half-hearted preparation. And realize that. Yes, Bhupati Reddy, will be starting test series early. Definitely, will be starting test series early this time. Okay. Pavan Kalyan provides some information about important topics with yeah, so see this Pavan, I'll make a separate video onto it, because again important topics are specific to branch. Okay, so we'll plan 2 videos for it, one for EC, one for EE. What are the important topics? Okay, and how to focus them, how to get the complete clarity onto that. Okay, right, so sure we'll plan that, Pavan, in the separate video. Okay guys, now I think time to move forward. Okay, time to move forward, right? So now, when I talk about the test series part, so that means I break test series or the type of test into 3 different tests. Okay, one is topic wise test, one is subject wise test, and one in the full length test. Okay, so already dear, if you are following, I have spoken about topic test and the importance. I have then told just right now the importance of subject test. What are the 2 major benefits of the subject test? Okay, and now let's talk about the full length test. See, full length test is usually a end moment business. Okay, so I will not talk on how to attempt full length test, but I'll just tell you in brief right now, because mostly students will solve the full length test in the last 1 to 2 months, and that's correct also. Or if your syllabus is completed early, you can start early as well. That's not a problem. Okay, but the point is, why full length tests are important. The major role is making yourself adapted, because when you give a first full length test, when I say full length test, you have to give in the online manner only, and that too 3 hours, okay, in front of a computer screen. Okay, now if you don't have the habit, okay, I have seen even this year, even every year, even the toppers who have exactly cracked the examination, but even you have got the single or double digit rank, even when those toppers appeared in the first full length test, what is the feedback I got? They closed the test in some 2 hours, 1.5 hours, 2.5 hours. Why? Because they got tired. See, sitting on a, studying with the book and studying on a screen, okay, giving a test on screen for 3 hours, sometimes, okay, is not comfortable for the students, for many students. Okay, you're not away from these situations. You're also a normal human being. Okay, so, those situations should not come up in the GATE examination. Those situations should not come up in the GATE examination. Okay, so GATE online 3 hour full length test you have to give, so that you are adapted to the computer screen, number one thing. And second is very, very important, time management. When you repeatedly give the full length test, at least 4 or 5 also. Okay, full length test, I'll say at least worst case you should give 4 to 5. Good means if you give 10 plus. It will be good if you give 10 plus test. Okay, but again, all this is end time business. So we'll talk more about, when I come live somewhere in November, December, we'll talk more about the full length test part. But still, I'm giving you this idea so that, you keep a target by November end or December first week or December 10th, you should cover up syllabus, so that last 40-50 days you revise and you keep revising and you keep giving the full length test. So what I'm telling, the next best big advantage is the time management. Okay, in the 3 hours, okay, whether you are able to cover up the 65 questions, are you falling short of time, whether you need to work on your speed. Okay, if you need to improve the speed, you need to practice little bit more. Okay, and then in the 3 hours, which topics you are more comfortable, whether you are starting your paper with aptitude or whether you are going to start your paper with the technical part. There are 2 tabs, one for aptitude, one for technical. So, somebody will be more expert in aptitude, somebody will be more comfortable with technical. So all these things will be, whatever hit and trial you want to do, whatever test you want to do it right now. Don't do any hit and trial in the GATE examination. GATE examination, you should go with the mindset, okay, I know this is what I am good at. You should know before entering the exam, what is your strength, what is your weakness. Okay, so that you plan your examination. See, if you are a manager of the 3 hours of the GATE examination, you will be successful in GATE. Okay, what I mean to say is, you should be driving those 3 hours. Rather than that, if the situations, if that 3 hours puts a pressure on you, okay, and if the situation puts you in trouble, if the situation is driving you, you will not get the best of the performance. But if the situation is in your control, how it will be in control? Okay, because you have planned everything, you have studied your concept, you have done the practice, and with the help of, at least 4 or 5 days, you have planned how you are going to manage the 3 hours. So if you are the driver, if you are the manager of the 3 hours, you will be really good in the examination. Trust me on that. Okay, right. So let's move forward now. Okay, and one more thing I want to specify with respect to test. Now whether it is full length test or subject test or topic test, okay, it's very important. The analysis, why test series is important. Again, you get a lot of analysis. See, you got less marks in the examination. No problem. It is not the final GATE examination. It is only a test, na? But it is important to know in the test why you got the less marks. There can be several reasons. Okay, because there came a question whose concept was not known to you. Okay, you thought your syllabus is complete, but okay, maybe you missed some concepts. Na? So if you got the less marks because of the concept unknown, it will give you a message. Okay, after the test, sit back and study that concept. Second possibility. Okay, so this was the first one. Second possibility, you knew the concept, but still, the exam time, you forgot the formula, or you applied some wrong formula, some little bit here and there mistake. This will usually happen when you have less practice. Okay, you know the concept, you have that, understanding, but because you have less practice and in a exam time situation where pressure builds up, okay, so you sometimes forget the formula, human behavior. Okay, human behavior. So definitely, if your practice is less, you have the more chances of, getting the formula wrong or, missing. So this will give you an alarm to, little bit, enhance your practice time, get into more practice. Then next possibility, your concept is clear, you applied the right formula, but again, timing pressure, hurry pressure, you did the wrong calculation, you get the wrong answer. You have done, there can be any number of silly mistake now, calculation error, reading error, your calculation also okay, but you read the wrong data. And if you read the wrong input, you will give the wrong output. Everything is okay, formula okay, calculation okay, but you read the wrong input, you get the wrong. It happens. You might find it silly, and I call it a silly mistake. Okay, so there can be any silly mistake. Sometimes you can't even imagine. Also, you will only come to know now when you give the test. But once you come to know, you will try to reduce those mistakes in the next time. Now, only when you come to know. But suppose you come to know about your mistakes in GATE 26 examination directly, then the only next attempt for you, dear, will be the GATE 27. Realize that. So that is why better give, some test before the examination so that you know your mistakes. Okay. And then you can, work accordingly. You can work accordingly. Right. So that is why tests are important. Okay. Now, 3 important aspects I have talked in the session. As I told you, this session was about conceptual clarity, how to get the concepts on place, books and classes, how they are going to help you. Then the game on with the practice, from where to practice, okay, and how to effectively practice. And third is test, okay, the topic test, subject test, and the full length test. Okay. Also, let me tell you guys, if you have prepared for GATE 2025, now if you are done with GATE 25, for those who appeared in GATE 25, engineering services is going to come up. Engineering services this year is on June 8th. It's on June 8th. Okay. So if you are a GATE 25 aspirant or student and you have only prepared for GATE and now thinking whether ESC can be done or not. So with only GATE preparation, can you still crack ESC? Yes, maybe, may not be. What is the correct answer to this? Join us live. Okay. So this is another live session to speak on to this particular topic, especially for those who have written GATE 25. Okay, just at least come to the session and know, okay, with that GATE 25, can you target ESC? And if yes, how? How you can target to crack it? Okay, to qualify. Just not target means anybody can target, but target means can you still qualify? Can you still crack the engineering services examination? So there will be a live session. Okay, join us live on the same channel on Wednesday. Join us live on the same channel on the Wednesday. Entire team is going to be there in front of you. As you see, all of our faculties will be there and will give you the appropriate guidance and the answer for this particular question. Okay. Now guys, the next offline batch for ECEE both starts, okay, the coming Monday, that is next Monday, April 20th. The fee is currently priced at 54,999 and there are some special discounts which of course is there in front of you. And for any further queries, you can contact 95156 94053. right, to know more about the courses or the fee structure or any of the things. Okay, so next offline batch, okay, April 28th, you can join and target this particular batch. As I told you, summer short term batch, I told you in the beginning also, a 65 days course, okay, to and the classes will be daily 7 to 8 hours. And as I mentioned in the beginning also, in this 65 days, you will be able to cover around 60% of the GATE syllabus, approx 50 to 60% of the GATE syllabus. What about the rest? For rest of the, see, in 65 days, this is the justice we can do. Unnecessarily, skipping the topics and formality, completing the syllabus, that we don't do at home. Okay, so in 65 days and daily you are studying 8 hours approximately, we'll be able to cover 50 to 60% of the GATE syllabus. But which 50 to 60% which is more challenging for students, so that those challenging subjects, at least you are in there in offline, in front of the faculty, you can study it more effectively. So the good part is, the difficult subjects, the challenging subjects, you study in an easy manner in the offline in front of the faculty, and you can take the true guidance and any type of help from the faculty. But what about the remaining subjects? You will be given the free access to the OHM online classes. Okay, not only for short term, for that will be there up to the GATE 26 examination. Okay, the complete online classes, okay, including the subjects you studied in the short term, and I mean every subject of GATE, you will be given the free access to the entire online course, okay, till GATE 26. So you can study the extra subjects, you can revise all the subjects here, and in the short term course we'll have 100% concept oriented learning, because since the beginning I'm telling you how concepts are important. At the same time, we'll be targeting more than 3,000 problems within the classroom. Okay, the fee is currently priced as 45,000. The first batch starts from 18th. The first summer short term batch starts 18th May. Right, so you can directly scan here to book your seat. Okay, just scan, register. Registration is for free, and at least you can book your seat for this. Okay, and again there are special discounts as mentioned on the screen. Specifically, the 20% early bird off is there for every student. Okay, that is going to be applicable till 10th of May. Okay, right, and by any chance you can't attend the offline course, you can't travel to Hyderabad because our offline center is at Hyderabad. Okay, so I've told you the summer short term course, this one is regular, this one is the long term course only, the course starting from April 28th. But by any chance, if you can't come and study in the offline manner, okay, but still want to study by the same set of faculties, okay, so you have the online live batch. Okay, again live, you can put your doubts immediately in front of the faculty. Only thing is, it's going to be a live course, not a physical offline course, but same faculty covering up the same content for you. Okay, so online live batch is there for the GATE 26. Okay, the fee that is 12 months validity, fee is 99.99, and for GATE 27, okay, of course for 24 months validity, the fee is 28,999. Okay, again for any more queries regarding the live batch also, you can contact 95156 94053, right? And if you are targeting the AE examinations, okay, the Telangana Transco and Discoms, or Telangana or AP, any of the AE exams you are targeting, the next fresh batch starts April 23rd, that is this Wednesday. Okay, that is this Wednesday, right guys? And guys, to get more such useful sessions, okay, like engineering services and around GATE and around BARC interviews, several sessions are being planned for you. Okay, only thing is to be aware about all the sessions and not to miss any sessions. Do not forget to subscribe to the OHM Institute YouTube channel. Okay, the channel where you're just watching the video. Subscribe immediately to get all the information without the miss. Right, so that's it. Thank you, and let me see if there is any more comments. Some of the comments I took in the between as well. See, never stop learning. In the beginning, even one subject is fine, or take two. Don't take, especially in the beginning. During revision time, you can take 2-3 parallel subjects. But in the beginning, I would suggest you to take 1 or 2 subjects. If you are taking 2 subjects, then one should be very light-hearted and one should be a good subject. Very light-hearted means parallelly you can prepare subjects like the fundamental I told you, aptitude or network or maths, something like that. Right. Warrior, what do you want to know? Only test series? Yes, if you want to purchase only test series at home, that also is an option available. Okay. I think, some of the doubts I answered in the between, and with this, almost the doubts look exhausted. The doubts are almost exhausted. So, okay. Okay then guys, thank you so much for joining us live on the Om Institute YouTube channel. And if you are not subscribed, do not forget to subscribe. And if you got some useful information from this session, and if you enjoyed the session, you got real insights to the GATE 26, do not forget to put your attendance. What I mean is, do not forget to like the session, like and express your attendance, express that you learned something. So do not forget to hit the like button, and bye bye, good night. This is Rakesh Talreja signing off. See you.